welcome Beppe Gambetta to Sudzin country. Welcome to Sudzin country. It's been 18 years, Beppe.
Yes. Wow.
A long time went by.
Long time went by.
You're an acoustic guitar flat picker, singer, composer, teacher, and researcher of traditional music and instruments. Is that true?
Yes, and I do this on both sides of the ocean.
That's so unique about you.
That's the thing. Yeah, I did research about also about my the music, traditional music in my homeland, and particularly also about the immigrants that came to this country. It's really interesting because it's good to see about this melting pot that happened in this country. Had so many components, different components, and one of these components, of course, was European music and Italian music in particular. And so, after we met 18 years ago, actually, I continued to do my activity, and particularly I did some research about this old player that came to this country, and it came out that also a lot of new generation players that were into the new music were from Italian-American family. People like Eddie Lang, who was from the great guitarist Eddie Lang was from Italian family, and also Nick Lucas, who was born in Belleville, New Jersey.
Wow, that's close.
Yes, so was Dominique Lucanese.
Wow.
So yes,
what was the difference between the music from the original people, the European immigrants that came here, to what they're playing today? What's the difference in that music you found out?
Actually, there was a great passion at that time. People was much more poor. And I think that they felt an incredible passion inside. They didn't have too much more, you know. They didn't have probably anything. They were, and so the music. They felt the music in an intense, deep way that probably is hard to feel now, you know. And it happens for in every kind of music. If you hear the old recording, I don't know, of the early blues players, there is a passion inside it, a sadness also, or a joy that comes through that is sort of impossible to reproduce, you know, for some point of view. And the same thing happened with that old music. We had a great fun to reproduce the old mazurkas and pieces of opera and all the sort of out-of-fashion repertoire of the time. But it was really great to put ourselves in synchrony with that moment. That was really an interesting moment.
So all those immigrants carried that old music from Europe here, and they played it here.
Yes.
Now that old-time music became called American music now.
Yes.
Am I right in saying that?
Yes, it's true. Actually, it modified a lot. It
modified. There you go. In what way?
It became really American. It felt so many different influences, and so partially the folk music modified and became this old-time tradition, and partially completely new music were born, like, you know, of course, the blues, the jazz.
What parts of the country, the United States, you just said to me before, you traveled to 49 states.
Yes.
Now, what part of the country is the old music still part of their life? Is there, you down south in the mountains someplace, or California? Probably not in California. They're always up ahead of everything.
I would say more in the rural areas.
Exactly.
On the mountains is much more preserved. But I think that there are young new generation that fall in love with the old, with the power and the passion of the old music. And for example, you can find incredible old-time players, players of old-time music in Brooklyn. So now it's because now with this you know, globalization, how we can call, but with a click on the computer, we can listen to Gary Davis. We can listen to the old-time and learn so quickly. So sometimes the modernity, it scares us a little bit.
I bet it does.
But sometimes the modernity is really great to preserve the music, because I think it took me, I don't know, 20 years to learn and bring back to life a lot of great music.
Why did you decide to do this?
Just because of the beauty.
Okay.
Because of the beauty. Really.
Is there a lot of demand for this music out there today?
No, many of them are no more here.
I know.
But anyway, all of this research that I did, and it took me so many years. Now the information that I gather or that I learned, you can learn them in really short time with one click, of your computer. And so there is some importance and some beauty.
When we talked 18 years ago, there was no click of the computer.
No.
The computer wasn't around yet. It was just coming into being. We didn't use it yet.
And on the other side, I think this kind of music continue to be fantastic because of the relationship between human beings. It was for century. It was just taught from father to son, from friend to friend. So the practical human contact continue to be the most important thing. So even if we can learn it on the computer, the being sitting together with Doc Watson is the best thing that you can do.
What was your first exposure to music over in Italy? Where you
in Europe, I had my parents that were listening to opera, to classical music, and I changed my feelings. I was a Led Zeppelin teenager, of course, but I heard Doc Watson, and it happens when you are bound to play an instrument or when you are bound to play a certain kind of music, that when you hear it the first time, it's like when you see your wife or the woman of your life, you understand in few seconds that this is going to be. That's it. Right away. And I heard traditional music, and I knew right away that was going to be my inspiration. And now in modern time, I write also my own music. I rearrange. I move forward with different projects. But that sparkle was in that moment when
Doc Watson.
Yeah.
You're going to get a better sparkle than him.
Yes,
he's the best.
Yes, and it's fantastic
but
that he's
no Doc Watsons in Europe in those days. There was no Doc Watson back then.
No, there was no. There were important guitar players playing traditional music, but not so charismatic like him, because he really moved through the whole world, bringing the American traditional music and making an incredible show.
Did you ever meet Doc Watson?
Yes, I met him and I performed with him several times.
How'd that feel?
I felt so happy that I thought that I should stop to play and open a pizzeria, because I reached my maximum goal in life. But I'm happy that I didn't do it because I continue to play. Good. And lately, the dream that we have with my wife of living part of our life in the United States and having a house, a home here, it came true. And guess what state we have chosen to live?
Right here where we're sitting.
New
Why
Jersey.
Did you pick New Jersey out of all the states?
I think there is a component of beauty, friendship, and practicity.
Wow.
So there are some areas of New Jersey that are stunning, that are incredible, and I'm in love with Hunterdon County, so we looked around there, and friendship, because some of my greatest friends lived in that area. So you go where there is the heart. You follow, and also practicity, because all the great airports to go back and forth are quite close. So, viva New Jersey!
There you go. Yes. Now you're a flat picker. What's in between a flat picker and a finger picking?
It's really simple. Always, not only in the American tradition, but in many other fields in different countries, the traditional players play or with the fingers or with a pick. And generally, this leads to different schools, because the techniques are quite different. Generally, if you play with fingers, you are able to play solo more easily, because you can add more complexity in what you do. And when you play with a pick, you have an incredible energy, and you can play fast and but generally you are more bound to play in a group. So
Flat
this
picking.
is flat picking,
picking,
yeah. And so I'm a strange example because I play solo flat picking. So I move it so fast that I try to generate an arpeggio that is self-sufficient so that I can play it just by myself.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Are you as fast a player as you were 18 years ago when we met?
Probably not.
Okay.
I hope I am a more tasteful player.
Okay.
Yes, that at the very end counts a lot.
How have your albums changed? You have 12 albums out.
Yes.
When I met you, you had
Just two,
working
yeah.
on the third one. How have they changed since you 18 years? What have you put on that changed them?
Actually, I moved. You know, the artist improvements of the career goes from learning and researching to be yourself and play also your own music. So more in the beginning of the career, it was revival albums of music of other people that I study and revived, and slowly it became more my own music. Recently I compose more because, of course, by learning so much of the music of the traditions, more ideas are coming to you.
Which type of music is on the albums more? The European blend or the American blend is now on the albums?
Actually, what people really love is that I blend everything together, that you sort of don't feel a strong distance, especially since I did this research about the emigrants, and so I researched how this wire was built between the two cultures. So yes, is a mixture. I would say is equal, the amount of
Talk to me
music.
about your DVDs you have out there. You have teaching DVDs, you have teaching books. Talk to us about that, because here's an expert right here, and you can learn from the best when you learn from him.
Yes, actually, I have several DVD of events. I have with Melbay one DVD of my acoustic night. It's a big festival that I put on in Genova since many years. It's an all-star night with many guests from the United States that I bring to my hometown in Europe. And there is a DVD of this show. There are some DVDs, teaching DVD with the homespun tapes, and there are also some books where I teach, of course, the flat picking transcription of what I do, and generally there is also a lot of my CDs are in the years where I did particularly two CDs that were called Serenata and Traversata, that were revival CDs about the emigrants, as I told you, and I did one interesting CD with Dan Crary to revive the energy of the duo, flat picking traditional duo, and after I did a lot of my own music, so they are called Good News from Home, Blue di Genova, and Rendezvous, and these are more showing a little bit more my own side as a composer and arranger. And the other aspect of my activity is that I teach also, and I do gathering in my home in Stockton, New Jersey.
Wow.
Yes, the students come also from far away. Yeah. We do it every couple of months. We do a gathering of flat pickers.
Wow.
And we play and we teach intensively, and at the end we do a jam session, a pasta party, because in an Italian house you have to do it.
Of course. We're going to talk about something we didn't talk about in 1993. It's called a website.
Yes. Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Have them in '93.
Yes, that's true. Now there are so many ways. So many ways to keep in touch with the music enthusiasts. And so, I am on Facebook. I am particularly interesting is my website that is beppegambetta.com. Really, www.beppegambetta.com. And yes, you can find all about my itinerary. And yes, I'm performing really often in the United States, so you can find all the details on my website. And I really hope to meet you. And yeah, and now that I live in the United States, it's great to continue this activity with my lovely wife, you know, in New Jersey.
Now, New Jersey. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Before we wrap up, what advice do you have for somebody that wants to learn how to play a guitar? Just quickly.
Just quick, one sentence. Try to be different. Try to play like no one else. Don't copy too much the other players. And probably there are some techniques that are called cross picking, down, down, up, where you play down, down, up, like this. With the cross picking, you can invent a lot of things. I would advise to try to go a little bit in this direction. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Great.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Let's not wait 18 years again.
Yeah, no, a little bit early.
Now that you're in New Jersey, we can do it more often.
Yes, of course.
All right.